Man, I tried so hard to think of a way to include Ronaldo in the title and make it relevant, and I just couldn't. I failed. Perhaps this just isn't for me and I should just quit and drop dead. Jesus, this got dark fucking fast. But no, the focus of today's video isn't Ronaldo. Instead, it's two of his teammates whose continued selection in the United team really splits the fans in two groups, angering United fans and delighting everyone else. I of course am joking, cause honestly speaking, if you are indeed a United fan and you're completely okay with these two getting selected, it's fine, you're not alone, the world's full of retards. Please subscribe. But genuinely man, each manager's prolonged patience and pig-headed picking of this preposterously prosperous but poorly performing privileged pair of protected pansies is painfully perplexing, to say the very least. Now, having said that, with Oli, it was pretty obvious why he kept on picking these two. He had favourites, but with Mr. Ranić, it's not as clear. Well, many United fans have suggested it's because of each player's reputation, and understandably so. One is the golden boy of English football who has single-handedly made the government make U-turns, while the other is captain. But honestly, these are not the main reasons, because not only has Ranić dropped both Maguire and Rashford in the past, granted not nearly enough times, but let's not forget he's also, on more than one occasion, left out the biggest name in world football. So why, specifically under this coach, after consistently dreadful performances, do Marcus Rashford and his captain, dear lord, keep getting picked? The answer is actually simultaneously a lot simpler and more complicated than it seems. They consistently impress in training. The next time you take a nap, your cat's gonna die. Look, sorry about this. The fuck was that? Sorry about that. I just needed to get your attention because I'm actually a little worried you might switch off after I gave you the answer of the question this video is based on. But no, stick around. There's some more key info you need to know. So, after seeing him in charge of United for roughly a third of a year now, it's pretty obvious that when it comes to picking his matchday starting 11, Ralf Rangnick places enormous importance in training ground performances. Because not only has the man alluded to this himself a few times, but his team selection over the past 4 or so months is very suggestive of this. And while there has been noticeable benefits from this, like the emergence of Anthony Elanga and the selection of Cristiano Ronaldo against Tottenham, reportedly due to a solitary positive display at Carrington, this strategy in the long term is very clearly costing Manchester United. I mentioned Anthony Elanga, and to be honest, yes, the kid has been a breath of fresh air, but should he really have started against Atletico Madrid? Should a young pace-reliant player really have started against a low-block, shithousery Masters and 2-time Champions League finalists? No. As I said, this to a massive extent is understandable, not only because of the positives I outlined above, but also think about it this way. Back when you were at football club at school and was one of the best players in the session, you'd expect to get picked for the school team. It's the way it's supposed to work. Oh, by the way, the past tense was used on the assumption that you're not in school anymore. If you're watching this and are still in school, then don't do drugs, listen to your parents, eat your vegetables, and sit down when you use the toilet. And honestly, I'm not half surprised that Ralf Rangnick almost exclusively works with this approach. Because speaking of school, most of his previous managerial experience is with young, inexperienced players. But man, at a club like Manchester United, only using this approach is simply not going to work. Just look at the club's greatest manager ever. In case you didn't know, Sir Alex Ferguson occasionally used to make decisions which would leave players scratching their heads. Examples of this would be randomly picking Chicharito when he didn't seem like he was at the races, or constantly picking Carlos Tevez despite the guy only popping into training to use the restroom facilities on the way to fucking Asda. And one of the main reasons why those great United teams were so successful is because the coaching system had that balance between prioritizing training performances as well as seemingly silly selection, subtly suggesting small-scale senility but somehow serving sustained success. But this coach just doesn't have that balance. Now, of course, it'd be completely unfair to stick all the blame on him as he's never coached at a club at the size of United before, but unfortunately, the bad news doesn't end here. Cause sorry United fans, but though I genuinely hope I'm wrong, it really doesn't seem like Rangnick will stop basing selections purely on training performances. Why? Well, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. The man is 63 years old and has been coaching for about half of his life. He's most likely to stick to his ways and display similar stubbornness we saw from the latter-day Arsene Wenger. Now, is there a chance that I could be wrong? Of course there is. He's changed his formations this season after them not working, like that 4-2-2-2 thing. But my concern is that Rashford and Maguire haven't just been crap for the past 2 games. They've both been trash since Ranić arrived at the club, and to be honest, even before that. So if he was to change his ways, he would have already done that. But hey, I've been wrong before, and I pray I am again. Cause yes, United may not be my first team, but they are a special club who belong among Europe's elites. So here's to hoping that no matter what happens with regards to tactics, formations and team selections, the Red Devils can indeed roll up their sleeves, finish in the top 4 and take the Theatre of Dreams back to hosting those magical nights under the lights. And that is that. Agree or disagree beats indifference. Once again, don't forget to like, comment and share, and yes, subscribe. Till next time, keep rolling.